Hey, what's going on, everybody? Doing a little square table live tonight. Got a lot to talk about, um, but but yeah. But first and foremost, first, hold on, just hey, Mike, hold on just a second, bro. Anyway, first and foremost, sorry about that. I got a lot of guests tonight. We're going to talk about the top 25 in AOY for the NPFL. The reason for that is the top 25 make the championship at the end of the year. So we got everybody associated with that 25 cut right now. It's going to come on tonight and tell us why they're going to make the first ever NPFL championship. But first, y'all know this shows normally we cut up. Uh, we try to have a good time, make light of everything, but in the last 2 weeks, we've lost two fellow anglers in the NPFL. Mr. Donnie O'Neill and Mr. Skeeter Fowler passed away of COVID um, in the last couple of weeks, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. It's weird that we haven't known these guys that long. We haven't really associated with each other that much, but when you fish together and you travel all over the country together, you kind of build a relationship and a bond with everybody that's associated with the trail, and it hurts, to lose somebody that's part of that. So, what I want to say about it is, their families need help right now. It's a helpless feeling. You can't bring their loved ones back, but we can help. So, Mr. Ricky Pike on Facebook is doing auctions. Guys are giving some awesome stuff: fishing trips, uh, guided trips, deer stands, rod, reel packages, anything you can think of are up for auction on Ricky Pike's Facebook page. We're going to put a link up, and I'll also post a link to his Facebook page down in the comments below. If you're interested in any of that stuff, every bit of the proceeds of that are going to go to his family, to both of their families, the Fowler family and the O'Neill family. So, any help y'all can give them, that would be greatly appreciated. So, all right. With that being said, I'll bring on Mr. Cooper. And Coop, Coop, we
There I am. How you doing,
there.
everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Coop, man, we got a big derby coming up, and I think we leave next week, dude. Tell the people what's on the line at this next derby.
Got a few guys that are fighting for that top spot, and then kind of almost, in my opinion, the more interesting battle is that battle from like, you know, 15th or so, 20th to 30th, somewhere in there. That's honestly that's going to be the battle to watch. I believe the guys that are trying to get in those last few spots for the championship.
100%. So, just so everybody's clear, I'll repeat it again. The top 25 fished the first ever NPFL championship at an end of the year. So, we went out, and I think we're going to title this episode Bubble Boy. What do you think?
That works.
All right, we're going to call it the Bubble Boy episode. So, who we got with us, we'll just introduce them real quick. All right, so in 24th right now in points, made a big jump last week, had a top 10 last event over at Winnebago. We got Mr. Paul Browning in 24th. All right, and after that, we got a two-way tie for 25th. Two-way tie for 25th. We got Mr. Mitchell Webb, and I'm sorry, Michael Webb and Michael
No, you
Yoder.
had it right the first time,
I
Mitchell.
got it first time. That's right. Sorry, my mind's messed up. There's a lot
That's
going
all.
on the screen. But anyway, so we got Mr. Yoder and Mr. Webb. And then I needed one more person in on this deal, and it's because he's sitting in the spot that I want to get to at the end of this whole deal, and that's Mr. Taylor Watkins, who's sitting. What place are you in? 28th or
10th
30th?
right now. Yeah,
10th.
yeah, 10th. Yeah.
All right.
I don't think you want to be sitting in 28th or 30th, but if that's up to you, I don't know.
So Taylor's at the 10th of AOY. So, I mean, all this is about, this is a big deal, man. What do you think? I'll just start with Taylor. You got the lead of all of us on the points, man. What do you think about Grant? I think it's going to get pretty intense.
It's going to get tight for sure. I am in a very lucky spot, I guess. I mean, I don't feel like that I can fall out all the way to beyond 25th, but I don't feel like that I have the opportunity to compete for that, AOY and win AOY. So I'm kind of in a spot where I'm just going to try and go win this thing. I mean, that's the way I'm going to fish. That's the way that I'm going to approach it. And it's good to have an opportunity. So, but yeah, as far as the fishing goes, it's going to be tough. Like, it's going to be a grinder. Winnebago was kind of a grinder for me. This one's definitely going to be one of those tournaments that, you're just praying for 5 bites. So
yeah, it's going to be tough. Fall fishing and
yeah.
that transition in that turnover period. So let me ask you something, Mr.
But
Paul
also
Brown,
at that lake too.
you're in 24th, Mr. Browning, right now. So tell me, bro, like, does anything change? Do you approach it all the same? I mean, is the nerves up? What's going on?
Actually, the nerves are gone. I think I finally figured out what my issue is. At Winnebago, I turned the radio on and listened to the radio while I fished. I've lost a lot of fish this year. I mean, it cost me going to the opens last year. It's kind of just continued on with this year, but I think nerves were getting in the way of the tournaments. And I turned the radio on, man. It cleared my mind, and honestly, I was really just bummed out with fishing, man. Before I went to Winnebago, Pickwick, I was sick before then. I had COVID the week before I went to Winnebago. It just, mind games, just playing mind games, and sitting in 24th, man, I'm good with it. With the year that I've had 10 dead fish. So if you add that 10 pounds to my weights that I've been catching, that's another 30 or 40 points. I'd have a cushion. So I'm a grinder. I like grind tournaments. So looking forward to the next one.
Heck yeah,
I think
man.
Grand's gonna be fun. I pre-practiced and had a really good time practice. I've been there, I think, like 15 days in the last couple years. So Grand's gonna surprise a lot of people. I think. I know everybody thinks it's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be a good event.
So a mental note: if I see you on the water, like, that's a waypoint I should make.
That's right.
Man, I only know half the lake, and I'm gonna spend the other 2 days of practice that we have of the 3 on the lower end of the lake looking for stuff I've never seen. So I'm not gonna let nobody see the juice. So come on down to that lower end. Come on down to the lower end with me. I'll show you everything I know.
All right, I got you. Dude,
Yeah.
Mitchell, man, 25th, tied for 25th right now, right? So that's the cut spot. Do you know what the tiebreaker is? Because I don't know what the tiebreaker is. Do you think it's going to matter at the end of the vid? Why are you going to cut Yoder out of the final? I mean, that's really what I'm trying to get at. Like, how are you going to cut Yoder out of this deal?
I think I'm just going to have to beat him, I guess. I think the tiebreaker's money won, and I think he's got me by a few thousand this year. So I don't know. I might have to just cut him.
And what's the mindset going in? And I'm curious about, like, what's the mindset going in? Are you swinging to win it? Or are you worried about points every day? Like, how's that work?
Man, I'm just trying to get there every day, dude. I'm just going fishing. I live here or pretty close, and it's always real good up until about that first part of October, and then from there on, who knows? It's like it's kind of like a new girlfriend after about 3 months. You just never know what you're going to get. It can be really good, and I hear it's really good right now, and I hear it's been really good throughout the summer. I haven't been on the lake. I think I fished at Toyota there in the spring, and that's the last time I've been on the lake. But man, I'm just going to go up there and go fishing. I mean, it's I don't really think there's many advantages to be had, especially this time of year up there. But man, I'm just going to go fishing, try to get in that top 25. And I think if I can get a top 25, I'll at least squeeze into the championship. I don't know. I'm not very good with math, but I think the odds are in my favor if I can do that.
Well, basic math, Mitchell, is if you're in 25th now and you have a top 25, you can't fall.
So if I finish 25th and I fall out, can I take your spot if I make?
If you finish 25th and you fall out, bro, I'll give you my bank account. I'll tell you.
No, man, I'm just going fishing. I'm gonna. I'm not saying I'm trying to win or anything. I mean, it's really hard to win any tournament that time of year. I think on any lake, especially that I've been on, just because it changes from, not only does it change from the week previous, but it changes from day to day. and you got fish trying to move shallow, and I mean, here right now, I mean, we're still 100 degrees. It got to 100 today. So, I mean, just because it's supposedly fall here coming up doesn't really mean the weather's acting that way.
Yeah. Dude, and then one more thing, dude. I'm the shades and the glasses, like, I mean, I don't know how, but I mean it just works. It really does work. We appreciate that.
Well, if this don't work out, I got a movie role coming up probably.
That's like a Matthew McConaughey type style you got going on. Are you having
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just like him, only different.
Dude, so I'm curious about something. So Paul, Mitchell, y'all got experience on Grand. So we had a little AOI the other week with Perkins and Sokup and Sokup, he wouldn't tell us crap about the lake. He was holding it real. At one point, I got a little bit too close to it, and he literally cut out. Like he shut the phone off and ran away. So I mean, y'all want to give us some insight on Grand, dude? Like, what's the deal with Grand? I know in the springtime it seems like it takes crazy weight, and then in the fall it seems like those fish all die and then they all grow again to that size by next spring or something.
Well, I think it's two things. Obviously it's that fall fishing and everything gets tough, but that thing's going to take a pound, and we've got a 2-day BFL out there this weekend that's going to have. I actually talked to the tournament director earlier, just chit chatting, and he said it was almost full. He said it was a huge field, which tells me A, they're biting, and B, they're going to get beat up there. So, and then the following week there's a 2-day Nichols team championship, probably going to have 350-ish boats, something like that. So, like I said, those fish are trying to move shallow, I feel like, and they every time it gets to this time of year, as they move shallow, these 200, 300, 400 boat tournaments come in and they just pick them off as they come, So I think it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of the weather, a little bit of the season changing, and they're just taking a pounding right now.
Paul, what do you think, man? I mean, like, is Grand gonna fish small? Is it because, like, to me, watching on TV and guys fighting for a 25 spot, 4 guys in an AOI race, like, is it gonna fish small, or is it drama? Is it gonna spread out? Like, how's it gonna work?
It's gonna spread out. There's gonna be plenty for everybody to do. There's gonna be a couple areas that probably fish small. I think it's gonna be fine. The Sunday of practice is going to kind of be a shit show a little bit, just because we're going to be trailing in on the second day of that team championship. So, there's not going to be a whole lot. There's going to be a lot of bent rod patterns getting waypointed in on Sunday. I can promise you that.
100%. Paul, what do you reckon, man?
I don't think the lake will fish too small. I fished the Toyota Series up there this year and early in the spring, and never really had no issues with anybody being on what I was doing. There will be some community holes, I think, that will have some pressure. And like Mitchell said, everybody running around checking everybody else hitting waypoints on Sunday. And then something I've seen with the league is a lot of guys hooking fish. You cannot hook fish this time of year. You have to shake them off. If you hook them, you burn them. And that's going to be a big key, I think, to having a decent sack for our event.
I don't know. I want to bring Yoder in, but I don't think Yoder's got the service to pull it off. I don't think. Yeah, pull Yoder in real quick. And Yoder, real quick, Michael, you tied for 25th in points right now with Mitchell Webb, who's on the screen as well. Like, why do you deserve to fish the championship, not Mitchell? I mean, I guess that's what I'm asking. Yeah,
or he's scared. One, two. He may be scared.
Yeah, I think he's speechless right now because he can see you.
I actually, y'all didn't hear him. I heard what he said. He said he was going to handle things in the parking lot before the tournament started.
Well, I shared a creek with him at Winnebago, so I already had a talking to him a couple times. So.
Taylor, like Paul, just takes fish off. What do you take off in practice?
Couldn't hear
talking
you,
to Taylor.
I hear you. There we go.
Taylor, can you hear me? I'm.
Barely got you. I'm hearing Yoder. Yeah.
You're gonna have to kick Yoder, though.
All
I
right.
got you now, Pug.
You got me now, Taylor?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you shake fish off in practice? I mean, you're a top 10 guy. I'm curious. Do you shake fish off in practice?
I do typically, especially like Paul was saying, this time of year. I mean, you stick one this time of year, it's done. Like you're not finding a group of fish. You're going to find one here, one there, one on this stump, one on this isolated little, rock or something like that. Springtime where you got fish coming to you and things like that. That's a completely different story. Like when we were down in Florida, yeah, I caught a couple down there, and biggest thing down there was you needed to know what size they were, I mean, I caught 15 fish that probably didn't even, and then you 4-pounder. So you'd say, okay, well, I need to stick with this, or no, I don't. But as far as this time of year goes, I don't typically, I try my best not to. It kills me though to bend in some brand new hooks on something sometimes, but that's what it takes sometimes, just go ahead and burn some brand new EWGs and get it over with. But we'll probably be doing that. I'll probably be doing that this week, especially. I don't plan on catching a single fish, wherever we go to Grand. They're not
Cool.
preferable during practice, that is. How about that?
Okay.
I plan on catching some fish during the tournament.
I know you said you were in, but I would at least bring maybe a couple to the scale, like to the tournament.
Yeah. I think I need to catch one for sure. But like I said earlier, I want to win this thing, man. I want to win. I want to win one. I want one of those trophies. I want it bad. I want one of those shields, and I feel like this is a good opportunity for me to try and do that. So we're going to go for it, and then I'm looking forward to the championship. I'm so ready for them to release where we're going for the championship. I can't hardly stand it. Like, it's driving me crazy.
What, Paul? Paul, does that make a difference in anything? Do you think? Like, if they were to release the championship today and say the championship was on X, do you think that changes the outcome anyway? Of Grand? No.
It won't for me.
I mean,
Yeah. I got you. What do you think? Does that? I'm curious as to what the thought process is behind. We don't know what the championship is. I mean, what do y'all think? I don't know.
To me, I mean, of course, I fished hard all year. I'm going to no matter what. But there is that added deal sometimes whenever it's going to be on your home body of water. And it's like that really puts some more pressure on the entire year.
Yeah.
But then again, who's to say that it doesn't take that pressure off of somebody that couldn't handle that pressure and would choke because they were trying too hard. So it works both ways, I feel like.
What do you think?
I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about it because we're not going to Arkansas for the championship.
Can anybody? You guys can hear me or not? To be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? This is
I got you.
He's using Brian Tyler's internet.
Mike. Jesus. Yeah, good when you're driving down the road. Whatever. I don't know. So, all right, cool.
We see who's going to the championship right here. These guys.
What do you want to know, son?
These other guys quit, man. They can't stand the pressure.
Yeah, that's right.
They can't.
That's it.
That's what happened.
And they'll always blame it on faulty equipment too, every time.
I've had that issue all year with live wheels. I promise you.
Oh, dude. Hey, that 1 pound penalty hurts, buddy. I mean, that thing hurts. I had a 4 pound penalty at Pickwick. 4 pounds. It killed me, dude. It was like a dagger to the heart.
What'd you say, Coop?
I've had to give Pug Xanax twice this year. because of losing fish in the weigh-in line. I mean, he was bad. I mean, it was bad. I mean, I had to sedate him, tie him to a bed.
I one died day one of Pickwick in the weighing line. That cost like in the bump station line, like on the trailer, and then at all of the first event, the first day of the first event of the season, I had one die in the line, and boy, that hurts. A pound, dude, hurts. You know what I mean? It's a 3 day to make up a pound. Like
especially the type of tournaments we've been having. You know, for the majority of the year, there've been kind of grinder tournaments for the most part, and so it makes a huge difference.
Dude,
I'm in the same way with Paul. You know, I mean, I've had eight or 9 pounds worth of dead fish penalties, mostly because of that one time my live wells quit, and I lost 4. But dude, I hadn't even added it up to see where I would be without those. I might be in the top 5, in points had that not happened. But here again, don't add it up.
Don't add it up.
Here again, it's
and
just
don't look at the checks you'd have got too, because it hurts.
Yeah. The other thing is though is it's happened to everybody. So if everybody added those points up, where would you end up then? I mean, Paul might be ahead of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean? It is. It sure makes me on a lot of that. I spend half my day fishing, half my day checking on my fish.
Make you paranoid, huh? I hear you.
Yeah, that's the difference between. Oh, sorry, Puck. That's the difference between us as fishermen fishing the NPFL versus the guys who fish the Bass Elites, FLW, or Bass Pro Tour. They do it full time. We're all working guys. We have full time jobs. Most of, I'd say 90% of the field's full time workers. So you're going to have issues with your boat unless you have a brand new boat every year. But you still can get a dud from the factory, just like a vehicle. So there's a big difference between guys who spend 50 hours a week on the lake versus us who get to fish every other weekend or once a month like me. I mean, it's a big difference on equipment.
Oh, 100%. I do want to. We've never done this on the square table before ever, but I want to do it right now. And I'm gonna start with Coop. So we're gonna pretend like every one of us are owner for next season, just for a second, right?
Oh,
just for a second.
Be bad.
Give me 2 things about the league that you like more than anything else, and give me 2 things that you would change. Y'all feel comfortable with that? Because I've had a lot of conversations with guys about it. I want to hear y'all's opinion on it.
Yeah, I'm
good. You're gonna get us all kicked out.
I'll step up.
So I love the 2 things that I love about it is, for the most part, what just in my opinion anyway, everybody seems to a certain degree kind of work together. You know what I mean? Like, it's no longer, I mean, we've only had 5 events. We're getting ready to have our 6th event, and it's, I feel like I've got a ton of people right now that I could pick up the phone and they would do, just about anything for me. You know what I mean? So like, I really like that part about it. That's probably my favorite part about it. I do like, some people don't like this, but I do like the time distance in between each event. It kind of gives you time to, if I wasn't working full time, also I might would have a different opinion on that. But working full time, it kind of gives you, it spreads out your time that you're gone, especially if you got a family and things like that. And then I guess the number one thing I would change, I'm almost scared to say it, but the number one thing I would change would be to try to work real hard to pay half the field like the other tours. If we could just get to that at some point, that would be the one thing I would change.
Okay. What about you?
I think I have Wi-Fi. I'm home now, so I should be good.
Can everybody hear Yoder?
Yeah.
I can.
All right.
Sorry, guys. I had to take my daughter to the football game.
Oh, you're good, brother. Let me roll through this one question because I'm curious as I'll get out about it, and then I'm gonna get to you and your AOI spot. And I'm gonna ask you the same question too. So, Taylor, give me your favorite thing about the league this year. inaugural year, and then you're an owner, and you're going to change one thing, and tell me what that one thing would be.
Definitely my favorite thing about this ordeal is just the family aspect of it. And I mean, and what I mean by that is my mom has come to return, and she gets to feel like that she's part of it. You know, I mean, she gets to jump in the boat with me and ride through the way in. You know, I mean, that's awesome, man. And the kids that get to ride through, I mean, that's amazing. I've enjoyed that so much. And I'll, back what Coop said, I mean, even the anglers out on the water, like I've made tons of friends. And if you ask anybody for anything, I mean, I feel like I could go up to just about anybody and be like, man, I really need this bait or something, and they dig through every box that they got to try and find it for you, or anything like that. Something that I would change, I don't know, man. Coop said the pay or whatever, but I think the pay is like, as far as how many people we had this year, they didn't drop it at all. I mean, we went through the year and we've steadily gotten less and less and less, quote unquote, boats, and the pay hasn't changed.
Yeah,
that's unheard of. That is absolutely unheard of.
Yep.
And I think we will get to that paying almost half the field sooner than later. I think I talked that, and I know that is one of his main goals. Is to get there, and but man, I don't know if there is anything I'd change. The 1 pound fish penalty, that's about it. But Brad Fuller is not going to have that.
Yeah.
Like that's his baby. It's the 1 pound fish penalty.
Real quick, I'm going to tell you, I was really mad at Pickwick, and Brad called me. He said, "I'm coming to you." And I said, "Oh, this ain't the right time to come to me because I'm pissed and it's not the right time to have a conversation." And he came anyway, so I'm a big boy. I can take it. So I said my piece, and he said his piece, and I moved on. And I think that's how grown folks are supposed to act. You understand what I'm saying? You got to agree on that.
Yeah.
As far as ownership goes, dude,
and
you tell them something, they'll give you an answer, right, wrong, or indifferent. But I like the fact that their answer is consistent, across the board.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
That's a good thing. Paul, what about you?
Man, the ownership group, I can't say enough about them. Every time I need to talk to Brad or Paul, they're really good about answering the phone. They call me back. I send them a text, "Hey, can I call you?" And it don't matter what's going on in Brad's day or how many phone calls he's had that morning from other anglers in the group. He always has time to talk to you. That's really something to have. And they're doing really well with this league, man. I talked to a lot of people, and they got something. I really think that the ownership group by far is one of the best group of guys that I've actually had the pleasure of fishing around. And I really like that they have a military background. There's something about that, the way they're running this organization, I think has a lot to do with why it's getting better at every event. The only thing I would change is I want the weight of the fish to count, not how much water you can run from your boat to the scale. That's the only thing I would change. Because I've seen some events that look like the 100-yard dash, and you got Usain Bolt or whatever his name from Jamaica up there trying to run from the live wells to the weigh-in. And I don't think water should count. It's your fish weight, not the water. But I think that's coming. I think that's going to get fixed. So other than that, I have no complaints.
Ago when I went up there, he was talking, and I was like, "Weigh my fish, bro. My water's learning out."
Yeah, I mean, I don't get in a big hurry when I weigh my fish, but I feel like, man, if I'd have rolled it up down in a live well and left some gaps in it, a mesh bag will hold some water. I think I could have got 6 ounces of water in that bag, and I might have won Winnebago, but that's not who I am. I want to weigh the fish, not the water. But but I've seen it at every event. Once the guys figured it out from Eufaula, everybody's doing it. They don't care if you have 1 fish or 5 fish.
Yep.
When Al says water counts, hey, put it in there. It's only fair, but that's something I would like to see changed.
Yeah. Yoder, tell me something, bro. What's your favorite thing about the league? And then tell me one thing you change about it.
Man, I really love organization. My wife's got to come to 3 events now. She's been to all but 1, and she's going to make grand. Most of my fishing career, she hadn't been able to come because of scheduling and kids and everything. But this league has been pretty special. The fishermen, you guys, I don't have some of your numbers, some I do. By the way, I fixed Paul Browning's trolling motor. It's going to break it,
Oh.
Grand. I need to make the cut.
I got 100 Bogman. He's got 100 Bogman's got a spare. I'm good.
But man,
Dang, Yoder fixed mine too, so I'm worried.
Man, I love the fishermen. I love the ownership group. Like you guys said, call them anytime, day or night. And like Pug said, me and Paul and me and Brad had a couple of words early in the year, but we're grown folks. I said my piece to them. They said mine. I told Paul at Pickwick, we can learn to disagree, and I still respect and love you and love you like a brother. And we're all still friends, the fishermen, the ownership group. And I think it was Taylor. I may be wrong, but I think Taylor spoke on the family element. Everybody gets included. Brad was walking up the hill at Pickwick, and I'm going off my wife describing this, had 2 phones to each ear and a walkie-talkie going off. And you could just tell he was busy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He stopped, put everybody on hold, and told my wife how much he appreciated her being there as a family.
Wow.
And it just means a lot that a ownership group really, most owners of business in the other fields, you're not going to see them at 4 a.m. giving you ice and moving your truck in and out of the water.
Yeah.
A lot of respect for the ownership group.
Yes,
and
sir.
a lot of respect for you and the rest of the fishermen out here, man. I don't know everybody's name, but like Taylor said, I'll dig through a box and give you a bait, and I feel like I could pull up to any one of y'all and go, man, I'm in trouble. I ain't got no more of these. Can I have some? And you'd get some baits.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, my cameraman at day 3 was blown away because we're literally sitting out there just sharing, like, oh, you got any of these? Yeah, do you got any of these? And we're passing stuff around. He said, aren't y'all competing against each other? It was like, well, yeah, but I mean, you want everybody to stay as long as everybody possibly can. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, that's a big part of it.
A lot of respect amongst the fishermen on the water. I've respected a lot of people's space. You're not going to get to every hole you got first.
Yeah.
I've shared some water. I pulled around a curve and a guy said, come on. And I said, no, man, you're here first. I'll go somewhere else.
Yep.
No, a lot of respect for such a lot of anglers that aren't seasoned veterans in and out, like pro fishermen, like full time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
dude, I do want to ask you because I gave Mitchell a chance. You know, you're tied with Mitchell 25th. I think you got the tiebreaker right now. AOY, 1 event left, 25 go to the final. And I asked Mitchell this, and I'll tell you how he responded. I don't know if you heard it, but he told me that there's no way Yoder can cut me out of this deal. I mean, that's basically what he said in a nutshell. He said that Yoder is just not as good a fisherman as I am. He's not here now, but I'm paraphrasing what he said.
He actually asked who Michael Yoder was.
Yeah, and he was like, Yoda guy isn't from me, but he needs to go to Star Wars. There was a lot of things said there, and I just want to give you a chance to respond to that.
Well, I mean, I'm going to follow Mitchell Webb and Paul Browning and Taylor Watkins and Cooper and you. So it's fine. I mean, Mitchell Webb, he'll probably self-destruct because he's a hometown boy for Oklahoma. Yeah. He may not even show up third day. It could be MIA until next March. But no, I mean, love Mitchell. I fished it's weird. My wife says, "Why are you and Cody Grainy? Like we were around each other at points all year in places, and it's like me and Mitchell always seem to find a lot of the same fish, right?"
Yeah.
As long as I find Mitchell's fish in Oklahoma, I'm going to make the top 25 and be cool.
There you go. Does it bother you at all that you're tied with a guy that looks like Matthew McConaughey a little bit? I mean, does that upset you or no?
My wife tells me I'm a lot better looking than Matthew McConaughey, so I think I'm.
You better hang on to her, Mike. I don't know.
Hey, she's in the kitchen right now, and she's following me all over the country this year. I took her to Harris Chain, and she said, "Don't you ever drive this in one day."
Dude, one last thing I want to get to. There's a lot of new anglers coming in. I know we got a full field for next year, so we're at 105 right now. I know we're full of 125 right now. Rumors are flying on who these people are. Like, it's just not. I don't want anybody to speculate on this because it really doesn't matter. But I've heard some differences in opinion. I heard some of you guys talk about full-time pros versus a lot of our guys work now. I've heard a lot of full-time pros are coming in next year. So I'm gonna start with Coop, then we'll go to Taylor, Paul, and then Yoder. How do y'all feel about it, man? Good for the league, bad for the league? I mean, full-time professionals, Elite Series guys coming in and fishing NPFL next year.
I think first of all, I have zero problem with it. I think this is my personal opinion. I think you shouldn't ever really be scared to fish against anybody. I think you really shouldn't be fishing at the slope if you're scared to fish against anybody, for one. But I overall think it's great for the league. I think anything that can get the league more exposure in the long run is best for all of us to some point. And I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, not our entire field, but quite a few of our field have fished opens before. And I'll go to my grave saying this: the Bassmaster Opens are some of the toughest events to fish in the country, and there's a lot of full-time guys fishing those. So I mean, it's really no different. And I think overall it's great for the league.
What about you, Taylor?
I'm going to second that 100%. I mean, I think it's great. I think it's awesome for us. Some people may think, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But, hey, whenever you kick their butts and you're going to be like, hey, look at this guy. He's kicking so-and-so's butt. You know, maybe we need to be looking at him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how I look at it. Like Coop said, you can't be scared. Like, there's no sense in being scared. If you're scared, you're already beat.
That's
and
right.
if you're going out there to lose, then there ain't no sense in going out there.
Sure.
I mean, the caliber of guys that we've got in this league right now, I guarantee you 50 to 60, 70% of this field could go straight to the elites and compete with any of them, any day of the week, all day long. You know, and I know Paul's the same way as I am. I get to spend I've fished less this year than I have in my entire life.
I'm the same.
But, I mean,
I am. I fished
it's unbelievable. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I mean, whenever I get home, I told somebody this at work the other day. I said, I spend a week tearing shit up and then spend four weeks trying to fix it, you know? So that's how it's worked for me. You know, whenever I get home, I'm fixing stuff, you know, live wells, trolling motor, whatever, you know? And so, but that's the aspect that I kind of am worried about, because they get to spend so much more time on the water. Like, I've gotten to pre-practice one event this year. That's it. And that was Pickwick. And it was 5 hours from my house, you know, and it saved my tournament. You know, my pre-practice saved my tournament because I couldn't get bid. I went with you over to whatever the heck that place was called. And then it didn't work out for me. And I fell back on what I had found in pre-practice, you know. So that's one thing that kind of I feel like that we may have a disadvantage. But as far as the league as a whole, and that's what we're all here for, is the league as a whole is going to be better. It's going to bring more sponsors. It's going to be bigger sponsors, you know, and that's what we're all striving for. And like I said earlier, whenever we get to kick X, Y, and Z's butt, you know, then that's going to make us look good.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk too. Even if I only do it one event, like
you guarantee it. Every if this is who's coming, I'm gonna go shake their hand and be like, "Welcome aboard, rookie."
Welcome to the show, son. All right. What about you, Paul? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I fished the Opens last year and I did pretty well with it. And I was tied for fifth. Almost made the Elite Series. It was, you know, very humbling experience. And I got to fish against Christie and Greg Hackney. And I mean, there's a lot of guys there that do it full time, and to compete with them and actually have a chance to make it, you know, kind of pat on the back makes you feel good, you know, that you can actually compete with them guys. The only thing that worries me about bringing guys who fish full time, maybe bring issues that other leagues had that this league don't have. We don't have issues. We got good ownership group. You know, these guys that come from other tours may try to bring problems that they had there to us, and it may reflect bad on us because of what they're saying or doing. That's the only thing that worries me. Fishing, you're not fishing against the 100 and some odd guys that we got. You're fishing against a fish. You know, it's up to you to catch the fish, not worry about the other guys. So the only thing that worries me is the publicity. Hopefully it's the right people to fit our group, and we don't get the egos that you see sometimes on the other tours.
And bro, I'll tell you,
we've got the guys that can do it. I promise you. I mean, look at Sukup. He's won 2. Keith Carson, and he just fished the Bassmasters Classic. I mean, he's that caliber of a guy. We got several guys who can do it, like Taylor said. So I mean, I'll be interested to see who comes, because that tells you that this league's making a big impression on a lot of other fishermen.
Yeah. As far as the culture goes, dude, I think that's set forth by the anglers, not ownership. And that's just my opinion. I think if an angler brings a bunch of ego in, it looks bad on the league. I think it's the objective of the anglers of that league to say that ain't what we do here, or whatever the case may be. My point is, I think that can be controlled within the angler group. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
I hope you're right.
Why it's worked out so good for us?
Yeah.
Why it's worked out so good for us is because we're all here for the same reason, and we've all got the same drive and the same push. Like we have quote unquote made it. We're making it.
Yeah.
So we're all in it for the same reasons. That's why we all try and help each other out so much, because we all want to see each other succeed as a whole.
Well said, dude. Yoder, what do you think, man? Where are you at with it? Big boys coming in to fish against you.
I agree with all you guys. Like Paul said, there's a question of the right attitudes, the right egos. I think the information highway kills guys. The few have gotten away with it for so long. They know too many ways around. The sponsor highway of, I'm on Strike King. Well, let me call Rep. He's got 6 guys in that area and information to. Everybody sticks to the rules. I think it's a matter of, man, the thing, and I own a trolling motor electronics shop. I rig out and some boats every year, and I'm 6.
Yoder, you cutting out on me, brother.
Can you hear me?
I got you now.
Hello.
Yep.
We had heart-to-hearts about the weights. It's not a matter if we were the caliber of fishing. I think at every stop we proved somebody's going to catch the weight that the elites or the somebody would catch.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I talent's there, and you're not fishing. You don't have to go beat up a guy that worked out 6 days a week and you didn't. You're fishing against the little green fish.
Yep.
So I think as long as we go catch them, Paul said it. I fished some opens before. I beat some big time names. Paul. I think
Okay, commercial break.
Well, hello there. I'm avid outdoorsman and Phantom Pro staff member Pug.